What's up, Angel City? It's your girl Panda here, bringing you another episode, a long overdue episode of Angel City Chicks. We cannot wait to dive into what has been happening since, the last time we did this, which was, gosh, what? I don't know. Nina's on the squad with me, of course. Well, how long has it been?
It's been probably a month. I mean, you went gallivanting around Europe. I took off and did a little vacation, and now, we're back and we're trying to do some fun stuff.
That's right. We are. We're so excited to be back to be able to bring you some exciting news finally. Some good game recaps that don't cause us to down an entire bottle of wine, although we'll probably still do that anyway. So it's all good. But either way, welcome to episode 105. It's hard to believe that it is 105. Thank you, everybody tuned in and listening to this. It's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are on all the socials. We are at Angel City Chicks, and this show could not be the same without you. So make sure you've got that reminder button turned on. We know it's not Thursday. We know that there was a holiday this Monday, and we've probably thrown you all for a loop because we're back. And we're back on a day that we're not usually back on. But we've got some fun stuff to cover. And unfortunately, I have some big stuff that's happening for me personally this weekend. I'm going to be moving out to Ontario, California, not Canada, don't worry. But moving out to Ontario, California this weekend. So lots of stuff going on in my life.
Yeah, no doubt. And, I love that we're twinning tonight. I'm still in my scrubs from work because I just did not have time to change. It's been chaotic. Like you said, we're all a little off our game with everything. It's between vacations and visitors and a lot of games and things happening. It's just, I think we're both just trying to still get settled. And I'm sure all of you are as well. So, we're
heat wave.
Well, oh yeah, and our brains are probably scrambled like some eggs right now because I don't know about you, but in the valley right now it is 97 degrees at 7:00 at night, and I feel like that should just be criminal at this point. And I know for you, Nina, when it gets hot where you're at, it feels even worse.
Yeah, we got the humidity. I have no central air. It is 81 here, so a little cooler, but at least you've got AC going. I'm going to be a ball of sweat by the time this ends because the kids are outside playing and I can't open the window.
Oh no. Do you have like a little fan or something to move some air? Anything?
Yeah, but it's in the other room, so that way the whole time you guys aren't hearing whoosh. See the sacrifices I make for this podcast.
I mean, I'd be fine hearing that. It might be better than, the constant drip of sweat from your brow onto your keyboard, but hey, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be a good one. We've got a lot to cover. We've got 2 games that we're going to kind of rush through. We're going to talk about standings. We're going to preview some stuff, and then we're just going to give you some news from Angel City to the NWSL, and there is a lot of it to cover, so we should probably just, dive right in. What do you think?
All right. I think we should. And unfortunately, we're going to dive in with some less than stellar news. 2025 free agency for the NWSL began on September 1st. And unfortunately for us, that means one Sydney Leroux and one Kristen Press are getting ready to be outside of any professional contract. So they're not necessarily allowed to begin recruiting and signing with other people. This is the time period where if Angel City has any contract options, they're going to be able to execute those. But I also want to call attention to this picture. How are they going to do our girls dirty like this? I don't know what this filter is. Like, what?
Why does it look like they have already been eliminated from some kind of challenge that they were in?
Right?
Doesn't it?
I did not do that.
I know. I was like, why is our picture so just like gray? And it looks like at one point they were all illuminated and now they have been, maybe it's because they're secretly saying they're actually not free agents.
Right. But you want to talk about like cryptic things. Kristen Press, like a day after free agency, and I understand we had a game, but she's posting thank you angels in her Instagram story.
I know it's a little, I texted you, I said, is this just a case of just really bad timing, or is it a cryptic post? Thank you, angels, her with, I forget who all was there. Like there were 4 or 5 other Angel City players. And it was a little,
A little sus.
I don't know, a little sus. It definitely got you talking. I'm sure we weren't the only ones that noticed it, but I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. I feel like what do you think's gonna happen? I mean, as Casual FC says in our chat, starting on 9/1, they can talk with anyone to secure their contracts for next year. Who do you think they're gonna stay or go? Do you have any thoughts on
I have a
that?
hot take.
Hot take. All right, coming in.
I don't
What you
want
got?
Kristen Press to stay.
Oh, I don't think we can say that on this podcast.
We just said it on this
no,
podcast.
we did
I'm
not say
glad she's
anything.
recovering,
No.
but I don't feel like she's done enough for us over the past 3 years. I would rather have Sydney Leroux. Yeah, take a moment and let that settle in. But there's also some really great talent out here that we could go after. I mean, you never know. You never
As
know.
we have talked ad nauseum since we got rid of, I think Paige Nielsen was when we were really like, okay, enough is enough. We have been getting rid of players and we have not been receiving them, at least not in a caliber that we really feel is necessary for what we need. And yeah, we do. We need a big name player. And, if there's a club out there that is capable and willing and just has all the star power to make it happen, it's Angel City. So when are we going to hear about some moves? When are we going to get some signings? When are we going to do something that everybody is like, oh, because the only news we get is people leaving.
Yeah. Cue our next person, Lee Win. My goodness.
I like Lee Win. I've liked Lee Win since he came to LAFC and followed his career. And I love that he came back to the NWSL, finally back to Angel City. What do we think he's doing? Do you think do you think he wanted to leave? Do you think this was just, he was done and he wants to explore his other options? Do you think, we were doing well
mid-season without
we were doing well though. That's the crazy thing. Like we had a good run with the Summer Cup. Like he came in at a time when we certainly didn't get any worse,
Yeah. But you don't leave in the middle of the season unless you've got something else. Like,
are we thinking Boston? Is that the kind of
Boston?
Lee Win from Boston. Anyways.
We'll see. I mean, the real thing is I do not disagree with Casual FC. Angel City is getting left behind in the moves. I don't know if it's the new technical director. I don't know what's happening. There's a lot of moving pieces, though. I think there's a lot of money at play, especially with new signings and with new ownership. So, it's one of those things that we're just going to sit back and be frustrated by.
I mean, do you think with all the, I guess, the technical staff moves and everything behind, the desks, I think it's just taking them a while to all get on the same page without making a big, okay. Probably what it is, unfortunately, though. I know. It still stinks because we've thought for so long, we thought there was going to be a big signing. We thought that we were making moves and money to get somebody in here. And, we've got now a new influx of money that has come in with new ownership. Bob Iger and Willow Bay are just, they've got plenty in their back pockets to lend to us so that we can go ahead and make this final push for the playoffs with some big signing. But I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously it feels like, we're going to be waiting till next year and we're just going to have to deal with what we've got. It feels like, so
yeah. I don't know. We are doing good though. We are making that push that you talked about. And as you mentioned, we've got 2 games that we're going to be recapping here. So 2 wins, 2 great games, right? That's a push.
I mean,
2 wins is a streak.
That's great. And they're against teams, one that's a rival and one that, sits above us 2 spots on the table, and that of Chicago. So yeah, these were definitely good games to recap. These were positive outings and they were convincing outings, in my opinion, because they were not PK goals that we scored, we actually put together well-constructed plays. We finished chances. And, I am so proud of Alyssa Thompson. I think she's finally maybe going to hit a good stride towards the second part of the season because of what she did in this first game that I'm going to go ahead and talk about. Because as you all know, we had a big rivalry match that happened, What date was that? That was last Saturday, the 24th of August. I know that because I didn't get to go because I went to the Kane Brown concert with my mother. And that's how I totally remember that. And yes, so we're going to go ahead and get into this because, well, this was the very first regular season matchup that Angel City has had since July 6th. As we have mentioned in our previous podcast, they went through the Summer Cup, or again, Casual FC, gotta love you with your AKA Fugazi Cup 2.0. That and that blowout with Juarez, as he mentioned, was definitely something I think that has propelled us into the run of form that we are currently having. So I'm going to dive into it because, well, Angel City was able to beat their SoCal rival San Diego Wave 2-1 on the road back on Saturday, August 24th. Alyssa Thompson finally finding herself in the scoring column. She had a brace, and Abby Dahlkemper was able to score in late stoppage time for San Diego. Thankfully, not enough to pull out a win for them. Now, going to get into this. Angel City knocking on the door early, found a chance in the 13th minute, and we're seeing finally something we've talked about. We're seeing Messiah Bright getting that starting nod. I've said it from the beginning. I think she's great as a starter. I think I like seeing her get her wheels going and figuring the game out. I think just coming in as super sub, just a little bit too much going on. And as for a rookie, I think that's a little bit too much to adjust to. So I think she's doing a really good job setting the tone for the game, definitely putting on a lot of chances, having a hat trick in the Summer Cup. So we see her send a well-weighted through ball in for Claire Emsley, who put an angled shot on target. Kaylin Sheridan there to block it with her foot, but good start to this matchup for Angel City. And this is just going to keep Angel City on the front foot and open up the scoring in the 20th minute with midfielder Maggie Doherty-Howard playing a long ball in behind Wave defender Hannah Lundqvist. She got a foot on it, but unable to stop it, and Thompson got on the end of the pass, drove towards the goal, dribbled past goalkeeper Kaylin Sheridan as she dove to try to claim the ball. Sheridan was off her line. Thompson seized that and had an easy left-footed finish to put Angel City up 1-0. And it would be less than 10 minutes before Thompson would double this lead. In the 29th minute, she dribbled up the left wing, cut inside the box, shot through, and a pack of defenders there. And Sheridan dove, made contact with the ball. Thankfully, it slipped through her grip and into the back of the net. We're seeing Angel City up 2-0 against their SoCal rival. And I know it feels good in that stand, even though it was probably hot and everyone was getting sunburned. They didn't care because we were going to go into the half as winners, and felt good if they'll get two really good goals from this and not just sloppy, just awarded goals and stuff. Because I mean, PKs are great; they win games, and that's fine. We'll take those 3 points, but it gives you so much more confidence whenever we go out there and we're finishing shots, and we're actually passing the ball well and receiving it and everything. So, love seeing Angel City going into the half up 2-0, and really, there's going to be a lot of back and forth action in that second half. Both of the teams had chances. I'm not going to go into all that. We've got a long pod, but we're going to go into the only thing that mattered for the Wave, and that was them notching their single goal in the 97th minute. Dreaded stoppage time struck again for Angel City. Maria Sanchez was able to serve a free kick in behind the ACFC backline. Abby Dahlkemper there to head it past Harachich into the back of the net. And that is all she wrote, folks. We have got an Angel City road win 2-1 against the San Diego Wave, and it felt good. I still followed this game. Like I said, I know I was, I was getting ready, actually. I will say this. I was actually getting ready for the concert. So I was able to watch it and go to the concert before the matchup actually or after it ended. So I did get to watch it, and it was so much fun, and it just put me in a good mood. I can't say anything else about that.
I was watching from the spa. I was already in a good mood. Spa in New Mexico, having a nice Japanese dinner. It was fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend this as your ambiance of choice.
I would love to watch many a game of footy from a spa with, just all the zen around me, because those games can raise the blood pressure. Now, we had some good things that happened. Do you want to go over some ACFC milestones from this matchup?
I would absolutely love to because they celebrate for one Alyssa Thompson, who earned her first NWSL career brace in all competitions, scoring 2 goals, as you mentioned. And Alyssa Thompson became the second teenager to score multiple goals in regular season matches in NWSL history, the first of which was Mallory Swanson. Super exciting for her to make those milestones happen for herself. I think it's just the beginning. I mean, we've been watching Alyssa going, okay, the water's going to break. She's going to
We were ready for her to just, get those goals and kind of get that monkey off her back and be ready to just play probably a little more relaxed, a little more excited. And we're going to see that shortly. So another milestone, we had Katie Zalem, who made her first NWSL career match appearance, subbing into the match in the 65th minute. She's a midfielder that we just recently signed. She played with the Manchester United women and Liverpool. She was also on the England's national team. So a lot of veteran presence there in the midfield. Definitely something we were looking for. Maybe not quite the blockbuster signing we're looking for, but a step in the right direction when it comes to, hopefully having some kind of leadership maybe or experience in some high pressure matches to kind of help lead our youth out there. And then, of course, Nina, I'm going to let you read the next milestone because I know it makes you so happy.
It does make me happy. I don't cheer for her to not do well, but Kristen Press made her NWSL regular season return in the 89th minute. First time since coming back from injury in June 2022. We know she had played in the Summer Cup. Summer Cup doesn't count as regular season. For those who are like, that's the second time you've said that. Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead real quick. Going to run through the stats just to kind of paint you guys a picture of what this game was like if you didn't catch it. Shots dead even between the two teams, 11-11, but Angel City with more of a preciseness in their shot, 6-2, led possession 53% to 47, passes 384 to 327. We were just a bit more accurate as well in that field with 74 to 70. We were chippy. I like this. We had 15 fouls to their 10, 1 yellow card, and then offsides and corners. Yeah, they're whatever. They were fine. So either way, we won the game. That's all that matters. We love beating our rival and getting 3 points because even though it is a slow climb up the ladder, it is nonetheless another rung on it that we were able to put in our graphs. So let's get into the next rung of the ladder, the one that was in front of us that we needed to help climb because, well, we knew going into this matchup, 3 points still wasn't going to eclipse them, but it certainly was going to cut into that lead, right?
Yep, and we definitely needed to take home another win. As you're with us in the comments, if you're with us on YouTube, you can see Casual FC Pod telling us and letting us know, yes, we had the momentum from the Fugazi Cup, we had the momentum from the Juarez blowout, and now we had the momentum from beating our rival, and we carried that against us to Chicago, who we've had some difficulties with in the past, and thankfully, following goals from forward Alyssa Thompson and Sydney Leroux, Angel City was able to beat Chicago Red Stars 2-1, their lone goal coming from Bea Franklin. Super exciting matchup, and Angel City actually opens the scoring in the 6th minute when midfielder Maggie Doherty-Howard sent a curling shot to the far post, which Chicago goalkeeper Alyssa Nair dove to block. The ball fell to the run of Thompson, who tapped it to the back of the net with Nair just out of position. Great shot, great moment for Thompson, continuing that momentum. And, each team actually then gets a goal called offside before the half, which is something that you rarely see. But the moment that really got us out of their seats in that second half was an injury centered around Sarah Gordon. And I don't like talking about blood. I don't like talking about injuries. And oh my God, Sarah took a beating. She looked like she got smacked hard. Panda, tell them about the gross stuff while I cover my ears.
Okay, will do. I mean, I am wearing my scrubs from work, so I'm definitely, poised for this part of the pod. Yeah, it was one of those things where anytime we see Sarah Gordon go down, you get nervous because you don't know what it really is. And I know when it initially happened and we just saw her down, no one could see the collision that she had out there with number 6. I forget who that is, but
Franklin.
Yeah, correct. And we don't have the luxury of going back and seeing it on the Jumbotron. They're not going to show injuries and stuff like that. But I did go back and watch it. Yeah, I know. You're welcome. I called ahead and said, don't show anything like that ever. And they were like, okay, cool. But I did go back and watch it just to kind of get an idea. But yeah, I mean, there was a collision, that right eye, it's real bony there. It doesn't take much for that to bleed. You have a lot of vasculature there up in your forehead and in around that area, and the bone super sharp. Any kind of contact is going to pretty much lacerate that. And that's what happened. She got hit hard enough to not only lacerate it wide open, she had blood in her hair, blood on her jersey. I mean, you don't notice this most of the part in the stands, just when you go back to watch it. And well, if you saw her today, she's got a big old shiner. So she got knocked pretty hard and she was down for quite a while. And thankfully, the ladies in front of us had some binoculars so that I could peep it out and see what was going on. Because we got to check on our Iron Woman. We got to make sure she's okay. And boy, man, we should not have ever questioned that, because as gnarly as it looked, as bloody as it was, and as bad beep as that headband that she now wears looks, and you said on our on the on your Instagram story, #trending for new headbands. So yes,
only Sarah could make it look cool.
Yeah, only Sarah can make that black headband look cool, and boy did she. And we're so thankful that she's okay. She's fine. It's she looks pretty tough right now. So hopefully it'll be something that doesn't take long to heal. We'll see what Friday will look like with her, but thankfully she's okay and it's all fine. And spoiler alert, this girl made it the entirety of the game. 90 plus minutes. Actually, this game was a lot longer than that, wasn't it?
A lot longer. Yeah. And that length of time, not just to do with Sarah Gordon. I feel like we are trending long in stoppage, but let's talk about that stoppage time. So the Red Stars were able to equalize in the 45th plus 10 minutes. So 55 minutes into the match, but before halftime, when Swanson sent a free kick on the ground to defender Kuika, who had made a late arriving run to the edge of the penalty area. Kuika sent a lopping pass to midfielder Bea Franklin inside the box, who placed her shot at the near post and into the back of the net. And the reason I mentioned we're able to get this goal in 10 minutes of stoppage time is there were 17 total.
You saw the frustration on all of the girls' faces from Angel City when that happened, because I think all they wanted to do was get into the half. And then all this happened, and we're 10 minutes into stoppage time, where there's probably a part of them where just like, oh my God, like why do we have so much? I mean, they know why, but you just want to be done with it. And it's just like a dagger to the heart, because you do everything you can for
too much. I'm sorry.
54 minutes and however many seconds you've defended well, and you've really put your foot out there and on the gas for everything. And then you never want to go into the half like that, because it really does it changes everything with your mentality. You go from being up and being able to stave off the pressure and the goals to crap. Now we're back to square one.
Yeah, I really do think that we need to find a way to cap stoppage time. There should never be more than 15 minutes. There should never be 15. I feel like 10 is the max number of stoppage time you should be able to give. And anything more than that is delay of game. If you are taking that much time and you're not handing out yellow cards, I don't know what's happening. That should not be happening, in my opinion.
It's just a lot. It takes a toll on the players. I mean, you have two instances like that, and you end up playing 30 plus minutes of extra time. I mean, that is a lot.
Injuries, everything is going to escalate. Tensions, fouls, everything. It's just not okay. It's too much. And I think they need to find a way to roll this in and to rein it back.
All right. Well, let's talk about the second half and how this goes. We're coming out 1-1. We've got Sarah Gordon looking, like a ninja out there with her headband, and are they ready? Are they ready for the second half?
They were ready. They came out fiery and they came out trying. And then towards the end of the match, they actually dominated a lot of the possession, creating tons of chances, culminating in a stoppage time goal when defender M.A. Vignola sprinted up the left wing to pick up a long pass by midfielder Rocky Rodriguez, who controls the ball inside the 18 and fired off a low cross. LaRue was making a central run and she was able to connect, making a one-time finish to regain the lead in the 91st minute. Fantastic way for us to end it.
I really wanted to call this podcast the one where we finally did it to them. Which is The one where we finally scored the game winner in stoppage time, because how many times have we come onto this podcast and had to sit here and talk about this game and it being a great
Yeah.
game, back and forth, da 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 da, and then
And then,
at the death, they come
yeah,
through with a goal and just bleh. So
not this time.
not this time, folks. We did it. We got the win. And I love LaRue talking about how when MA got on that ball and sent it in, she's like, oh, I knew she was going to put it right where it needed to be, so I had to score it. I mean, they just have this connection, and I love it. And it was just beautiful. It was fantastic. It was chef's kiss.
And with that, Sydney LaRue earns her 46th career NWSL regular season goal, and Alyssa Thompson earns her 7th regular season goal for the game. And she gets and MA gets her 2nd career assist.
Love that. But, as amazing as all that was, as amazing as the win was, as amazing as Sydney LaRue, making it up that little chart for how many goals she has, and she's only going to keep doing that, or, as amazing as MA is, and we love watching her out there, I want to talk about the kids. I want to talk about Kids Day. I want to talk about how amazing all of those were. And I also want to talk, kudos to Angel City for involving them in a way that I just thought was amazing, from, being the child sideline reporter to the child PA, the child DJ. They really embraced Kids Day, and I thought it was so good. And I just think about all the opportunities that kids get these days to really do things like that could, kind of put them down a path that I didn't even know even existed as a child their age. At their age, I wasn't doing anything like that. I was probably making mud pies and, catching grasshoppers. And they're out here DJing and, being public address announcers for professional soccer teams. Come on, that is just incredible. And I no doubt we're going to see these kids on a bigger stage at some point doing this. So kudos to Angel City for doing that. And shout out to, Sydney LaRue's kids who got to be there at the beginning. I know that was very special for her, and for her to get the game-winning goal, it kind of just tied up this game in a nice little bow, I think.
Absolutely. And we love to give you some stats to end things off with a match. 13 shots apiece, but Angel City coming away with 7 on target to Chicago Red Stars 2. As I mentioned, we dominated possession specifically in that second half to make it 61% possession to Angel City, 480 passes completed with a beautiful 82% pass accuracy for the home team. A nice even 8 fouls to Chicago 6, and offside and corners just about equal as well. Angel City did take home a yellow. No card shown to Chicago despite the injury to Sarah Gordon. That's just your run-of-the-mill injury. But overall, a great game for Angel City. This is the form we want to be in.
What I like is over these last 2 games, Angel City has had exactly 1 more than half shots on target than they had shots. In the San Diego game, they had 11 shots with 6 on target. And in this game, they had 13 shots with 7 on target. And, not a stat that we're usually talking about. We've really been failing, in our finishing and those shots on target. So between the accuracy that we're getting on shots, between the accuracy of our passes and the possession, what are your thoughts as someone who loves numbers for where Angel City is at this point?
It's definitely we took the momentum of the Fugazi Cup and of Summer Cup to build on our set pieces, because look at that, also 8 corners. We are making these things happen. We're putting in the work where we need to. So as much as we can criticize the technical director and say what's happening with our signings, we're seeing it on the pitch. We're seeing improvements in the areas that you and I have been calling out for this team for months. So super exciting, because this is the momentum we need. This is where we want to be at. You don't want to be at the top of the table and sinking down when playoffs are starting. You want
San Diego
to be climbing. You want to be moving up. And when we look at these league standings, that is what we are attempting to do. We're currently still sitting right below that line. We're in 9th place, but we're in a good place. We are tied with 21 points.
Yeah, we're tied exactly almost with Bay FC. They have 1 more win than us, but our goal dip's the same. Our points are the same. So, there's some, there's some things there that we can do. They've lost more. We just drew in that sense. So, I think, I think we're in a good spot. It certainly could be a lot worse considering how we felt at the beginning of the season, and this is, exactly kind of what we did last season. So,
Yeah,
yep.
and we can't ignore that number 1 spot on the table right now. It's almost becoming infuriating. Orlando Pride, 18 games played, 13 wins, 0 losses, and 5 draws. They are having a damn near perfect season, and I need someone to ruin it. Go pop their bubble.
Yes, I know. I agree. I mean, you do love to see stuff like that, so you can be like, "Oh my gosh, I remember watching that, that historic Orlando Pride team back in 2024." But yeah, no, we're good. You don't need that. But yeah, it's the dominant performance they're having right now is just incredible. And I mean, to be honest, any of those top few teams are really doing some work up there. So we know they're going to be in the playoffs for sure. And what was Orlando only needs one more to clinch? Is that what it's
Yeah,
yeah.
#rude.
Yeah, that's insane. So so
Ugh.
anyways, yeah, that's where we're at. That's what the table looks like. We've got some well, there's some hope. I know it's the hope that kills you, but maybe it's the hope that gets us through this at this point.
Okay. And as we talk about hope, our hope is coming in the form of our next matchup. We're going to be playing this Friday, 7 p.m., back home again against Seattle Reign, currently sitting 2 places below us in 11th place. But that is not to be taken lightly for sure. Let's talk about this matchup because I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good game. Seattle Reign have obviously done some great stuff in the past. They've got 3 wins to our 1 so far in matchup, and we've got 1 draw. In the latest run of form, they did beat us back on October 20th, 2023, but we beat them back on August 27th, 2023. Nothing yet this year, let's be clear. So
Yep.
this is going to be it. Usually by this point, we're really talking about how things have been going as of late, and I don't have too much for y'all. It's been an interesting season for Seattle. They've definitely had some turnover in terms of players, but I think this could be our opportunity, and this is going to be a test. 2 is a streak, but 3 is undeniable.
Going to be interesting to see for sure. They've won their last 2 games. We've won our last 2 as well. And we've actually been really good on the road. So it's going to be interesting. Do you want to? I know you've got some graphics here. I don't want to go out of order with the insights into the match because I know you've got a head-to-head graphic that.
I didn't do that graphic.
Oh well, then why is it in my notes?
So I can read it.
Oh well, do you want to?
You can read it.
I don't know what those numbers mean, Nina. I don't know. You need to explain them. This is up in your wheelhouse. This is your baby. I did not choose this graphic, and apparently you didn't want anyone to see it either. So there's that.
Because that sometimes they're it's hard to explain. So what we're going to be looking for in this match is we're really going to be watching Balser. Balser is one of their top scorers. She's an attacker, comparable a lot to Emsley. Balser's had 5 goals on the season with 1 assist. Emsley 6 with 2 assists. Both of them are doing really well with an average of 1.2 shots per match. So we'll be interested to see. They're very equal in stats. They're very similar in their attacking styles. Emsley a little more clinical and a little more on the set piece. Balser a little more on the dribble. But I'm anticipating a good matchup. And as long as our girl Sarah Gordon can see out of both of her eyes, I don't think it's going to be a problem for us.
It's going to be a good one for sure. And if you look at the insights between these two, I mean, Angel City scored 6 goals in their last 5 matches. So they're least scoring in their matches, which is positive for our team. And then Angel City and Seattle Reign, they've not drawn any of their last 3 matches against each other, meaning are we going to get a definitive winner out of this? I think we could see that. Now, Alyssa Thompson, she's created the most big chances for Angel City with 5. So look for her to create a little bit of chaos, maybe even in forms of, scoring goals. But she's been really good with assists as well. You want to talk about Seattle?
Ooh, I am scared for some of the Seattle. I mentioned Balser already, but we also have to be looking out for Jess Fishlock, who has created the most big chances for them with 5. And we have to be looking out for Tiara King, who has the most shots on target per match for Seattle Reign with 1.4. She's got that lethal foot. We've been aware of this. We got to get in front of her. We got to stop her from getting the ball anywhere near the net.
Yeah. Now Seattle scored 8 goals in their 5 matches, so they're definitely going to be gunning for the back of the net, but we've got a defensive line that I have a lot of faith in. They've held the last 2 teams to just 1 goal, and if anybody's kept us in the match most of the time, it has been our defense, and especially Didi Harachich with some great saves. So it's going to be a great matchup. This is going to be Friday night, 7:30, correct?
7.
7?
Right?
I never know. It's
Yeah,
always
7
changing.
p.m. this Friday. Good thing I got the day off.
All I know is I will get off work at 5 and I will head straight to the stadium. So it'll start whenever after I get there. But if anybody out there needs a ticket in Founders, right?
Yeah, we got one. We got an open seat next to us.
We do have one free food and drink for a very small price to pay just to recoup the losses. But if anybody wants to hang out with Angel City Chicks in Founders Club and wants to check out that club, see what it's like, free beer, free wine, free food. It's usually fantastic.
Free entertainment.
Free entertainment. I mean, we'll be there, that's enough. And maybe the people around us will be entertaining as well. Oh, we won't talk about that. But anyways, we have a great time up in Founders. It's a fantastic view of the game. We sit right behind the guys that actually film the game. So when you see it on TV and watch it, we sit right behind them. That's what we see, and it's fantastic. So hit us up if anybody's interested in joining us, and we'll let you know how we might be able to make that happen. But either way, let's kind of move on. Let's transition from some Angel City news because it's all great and positive, and we love it. And I just want to end there. And let's transition to NWSL news because some fun stuff came out today in terms of globally in terms of women's soccer, and the NWSL is directly affected. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is we've got the NWSL Impact nominees, the Impact Award 2024 nominees, each team being represented here. Rocky Rodriguez for Angel City getting that nod. Old names that are familiar to us, Carrie Recaro, our ex, also making the list. Super exciting because it's really important that it's not just what you do on the pitch, it's how you interact with your community and the impact you have there. So I love that the NWSL does this and honors someone from each team in this way, and I'll be interested to see who ends up with the win.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I think it was it Allie Riley last year, I believe that was part of that. Yeah.
She was.
Oh, I love that. Such a cool thing. And I know they have like a list out there, and I was going to look it up real quick, but you talked way too fast. I'll get into that later. Anyways, moving on. Sorry. I don't want to digress from this.
The other big piece of news is as we get ready, the annual awards, the Ballon d'Or, we are seeing some nominees. The U.S. is well represented in these nominations. We've got Lindsay Horan, Alyssa Nair, Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, and Mallory Swanson all nominated for that award. Super exciting because the U.S. actually leads representation on the 30-player shortlist alongside Spain, who also have 5 players on the list.
Yeah, big award for soccer players all around the globe. So this will be exciting to see who can pull that out. Although, they were saying, where's our girl Naomi Girma?
Right?
Dude, why are we shading not giving love to our defenders out there? I mean, she is a huge piece of that puzzle. I know a lot of times the scorers and the playmakers make, a lot of that impact and seem to shine brighter, but man, we got to give some love to our defenders, and Naomi Girma? Hi, Gurmy. Naomi Girma is definitely one of those players that should get some kind of love and accolades for her performance because she was one of the few, especially in the World Cup, that actually, shined bright. So either way.
What did they say? Mountains cover 2% of France. Naomi Girma covers the other 98 or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yes, I loved all the memes about her performance. It was fantastic and just shows like how impactful and noticeable her performance was. And that's a defender. And a lot of times we're not talking about that. And if we are talking about her and her performance, it clearly was next level. So again, where's Naomi Girma's nomination here? But
I'm with you.
I digress.
We'll send her our own version.
We'll send her a little Angel City Chicks award. It'll be great. Yeah. Probably made of a wine glass.
Ooh, or just wine.
Just a wine bottle. Here you go. Enjoy.
It can be like a golden Chardonnay or a golden Pinot Grigio. Grigio's gray. I don't know. We'll work on it. We'll workshop it a little.
Anyways, all right. We talked a lot. We said a lot of things. Some of it made sense. Some of it didn't. That's just what happens. But either way, I'd say a successful season or part of our season so far when you compare it to it as a whole. Really excited for Friday's game. Every game right now is so important. We need the 3 points badly. So hopefully this trip up to, or no, we're not going there. The trip to BMO, which is right down the road, will be a successful one for Angel City. Do you have anything else you would like to add at this point?
No, I mean, you guys know how we like to sign off. We've got a quote from our fearless leader, our captain, Becky Tweed. She says, "One game doesn't make or break your season. You have to continue to get results. And when things don't go your way, you have to pick yourself up again quickly and move forward. It's just staying really focused on us. And that's the most important part."
I feel like that's a life quote as well.
It definitely is. You can leave it to Becky to give us some like wisdom.
Absolutely. We love it. We love it. We're here for it. We hope to see you guys on Friday. And if not, join us on our next pod when we talk about it. Hopefully it will be a fun one. Again, I like talking about the wins. They are the best. But that's all we got for this pod. Nina?
Yep. Panda, you ready?
I'm ready.
Good, because you're going.